previously on doing stuff with things, how I make models. So there we go. We're gonna get the sticks out, put some color on it, and the next process will be the actual painting. Yeah, except I was wrong. It's not quite ready for paint. There's still a couple more things that need to get glued on now. First, real quick, remember I said I couldn't find the coil, so I did make another one. Just found a piece of sprue, whittled it down, bam, there you go, done. And determined that these parts can be put on afterwards. They don't need to be attached, not that big of an issue. But I realized that I had been prepping. I talked about the roll pan and how it attaches to the back of the bumper, how that can be painted and then attached after the fact. But I realized that I'm doing the custom version, and that's not the case. These roll pans, front and rear, really need to be glued on first. They don't have to, but it's just going to be so much easier now than when it's painted and fiddling with these tiny, teeny little bits, which you're about to see me do. Hopefully this won't get too frustrating. I'll start by, kind of eyeballing where it's going to go and how it's going to attach, and then come back with the bit that will need to get glued and look at how it lines up, how it fits in there first. And most times, it's just so hard to hold on to and show. It's even harder when you get the glue on it. It took some prep to get those corners to look right. It's still not totally perfect, but it's better than it was. So, starting with the top, the bumper, find a good place to put some tape so that I can get it on there. And it gets really difficult with your little fingers. This is when your fingers start to feel really big and dumb, as Adam Savage says, and it's so true that you you start thinking that they're not these. So I'll get that in there. Tack it down. Come on, big dumb fingers. There. That's hopefully that's good enough. Yeah, that should work. Let's see. Just a quick test fit where that's going to line up. Nope, the tape's kind of in the way there. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're already having problems. I believe it or not, I've actually already attempted to film this. And this portion got me really frustrated. I had to stop and regroup. There we go. So those are just kind of set in place just to hold it while I do the other portion. I need a little more tape. I like to have it at your ready. I'll roll out a piece and then put some cuts in it, and then flip up the ends so they're ready to grab. Ready to go. Again, this is pretty critical. It really is a critical part. Getting it to line up and look right now. Oh gosh. Will definitely pay off in the end. Come on. Wow. Yeah, see how much fiddling I've done, and again, imagine trying to do this while it's painted. But that just really doesn't want to go in there. You know, let's do this. Let's try this stuff. No tape. But blue tack. This stuff's amazing. It works so good for, you know, mock-ups and test fits. It will add a little tolerance, you know, some gap, so you have to be mindful of that. Don't put too much of it in, basically, wherever you're going, wherever you're going to use it. Like here, you know, I want to make sure that it's right where I need it. Oh wow, that was way easier than the tape. Pro tip, don't use tape. But this part might be a little bit trickier. No, actually that worked really well. So we're gonna glue that down. Since I've already prepped it to where it lines up, I will put a piece of tape on it to help hold it at the right spot, the right angle. Hopefully. And you know, these portions can get a little hard, a little tiring, a little taxing. You know, you just want to take your time, go slow. And also, you know, keeping in mind that the tolerance will increase when it gets painted. You know what I'm saying? There will be a little bit. I don't know if that makes any sense. Those gaps will get filled just a little bit with the paint. Not a lot. I'm not using it as a filler, but so going back around and, you know, eyeballing it, making sure everything looks pleasing. Then I'll go in with my airbrush cleaner, glue, and weep some back here on the back side. Reason being, I don't want to damage the chrome. I don't want to put a bunch of ugly spots on the body. And then let that set for a minute, regroup, and get started on the rear. This one will be just as, you know, just as fiddly, just as tricky. Again, I've already tried to test fit this and all of them and sanded it and got them ready. But the rear does fit a little nicer. I'm gonna try it with the blue tack. This stuff, I use it all the time. I've tried a couple different brands. I prefer the actual Loctite Fun Tack. It's amazing stuff. It's reusable. You can paint it and rub it off and reuse it. That package, I've had that for a long time. So, squishing that in there to get it to line up right. And same thing, I'll take a little piece to sort of help anchor it to where it's supposed to stay. And try not to squeeze it and move it around too much, you know, because this one up here is still fresh, right? So fresh and so clean. And the instinct is to want to set it there while you're working on it, and it's, oof. Wow, this one is really, really finicky. But might be able to get away with it just with gravity. And letting now that might weep out and put my fingers on it. So I was going to just hold it and glue it, but instead I think I'm going to put just a tiny bit of tape to help hold it in place. Again, see how well that fits, that seam? It's because I took the time to go in and sand it and prep it and test fit it, in and out and in and out. Test, test, test. Same over here. Yep, that looks good, solid. Looks like it pleased my eye. And then I'll kind of look at it again to make a mental note of where it attaches. Find your target. Oh man, had a little coffee. Just a tiny push, help compress it. Now we should be done with the glue and all this other stuff. Get all this broken bread out of here. So while that sets up for just a minute, just a tiny second, while I kind of do a little knolling to clean up. Always be knolling. Because I've been handling it, I'm going to do just another quick sand wipe over everything and then tack cloth wipe before it goes on the stands. But yeah, that's just done. Now it basically is ready for paint. So we'll make the big reveal and hopefully it all lines up and didn't leave. See, that bled through, left a bunch of ugly glue marks. Here's the test. Yep, cool. Cool. Getting this stuff off can be kind of tricky. I found that if you use the tack itself, ooh, oh, come on. Oh my gosh. Wow. Ooh. See that? The whole thing wanted to come out. Since it's still a little bit tacky, I was able to save it. So I'll let that set up and then maybe come back and run another bead before I paint, but probably not. Once it dries on here the way it is and then gets paint on it, the paint will help with locking it into place. It'll help kind of seal it all together. Well, I really am shaking too. I've had too much coffee. But I felt that it was important to do this. If anybody is following along, oh, come on. It's okay though. Imagine trying to do this while it's painted. You're gonna mess it up. Even worse than I already have here. Now it's not bad. Again, a little paint, a little sanding. Could probably get away with hiding it, but that much glue on your finished paint, it would have ruined it. It's gonna look like poopy. Oh my God. Oh, you. I really want to set this thing down and stop fiddling with it. Okay. Whew. Eesh. I'm not going to put it on here yet because it'll flex it out, but I'll let it sit and kind of set up a little bit, and then I'll do another quick sand and wipe, and at that point then we'll be ready for primer and paint. So thanks for watching. Sorry if that was a little a little confusing, you know. Again, if you are following along and building it with me, the gap is I'm not going to worry about it, otherwise I'll mess it up. So, you know, there's no one to fold them, no one to walk away. It's about having fun and not getting frustrated. You know, you wind up making mistakes and messing it up. So that'll look fine. You know, a little putty, a little paint makes a carpenter what he ain't. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next phase where we're gonna lay some paint.